back. Only two of us because Joey canceled literally 30 seconds ago. But we are here. Me, AJ. AJ, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How's it going?
It is going. As bad as going as it could go. But we're here. Let's talk some wrestling. You know, all that real world stuff. Forget all that. This is the fun time. This is the forget everything and let's talk about the awful stab that Don Callis did to Kenny Omega to turn on him. Because motherfucker didn't even hit him with the screwdriver. I get it. It's a fucking screwdriver. You want to be careful. You didn't even hit him with it. You didn't hit him with the blunt side of it. So
hey, he wants to protect the wrestling god of pro wrestling, you know, or whatever he calls it.
That was an incredible thing to watch muted as I was playing D&D pretty much. But it was an incredible thing because obviously it happened. I missed it happen initially, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? Because I know you guys are blowing up chat. It just like your mixed reactions of fucking finally and then fucking Don Callis or whatever you said. I don't remember. And I was like, wait, what happened? And I looked up at the TV and I was like, wait, what happened? Don Callis was walking around, and then I seen the replay of it happen of him missing Kenny, and then him going to do it again, and then kissing Kenny, and then just push him down. I didn't get it. So is he like with the BCC now for sure? Is he not?
I think so. I mean, we'll probably get something next week. You know, don't forget about the huge announcement for next week as well.
So I missed that too. I seen Tony on the TV. Obviously, gonna watch it muted. I seen Tony on the TV, and then somebody said in the chat that Tony's announcement was that there's an announcement.
Yes.
Okay. And is this the show we're assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
So back to Don Callis, though. I've been saying this for.
Did you just
while,
say
right?
dumb Callis?
Don Callis.
Oh, I thought you said dumb Callis. Like they just really diving into this.
I mean, we call him dumb Callis if we want, but I had always said that there's likely gonna come a point where Callis is going to turn on Kenny because. You know, I feel like we're getting a nice slow burn with Elite and BCC, not to confuse it with BBC like everyone else is calling it.
I said BCC, and in my brain I was thinking something.
Right?
That's right. You're fine. You said it with confidence. You're good. You're right.
And so, yeah, I feel like we knew this was going to come because Don was already trying to separate Kenny from the Elite because he thinks Kenny is the best when he is solo and doesn't need anybody.
Funny,
so I feel like,
even though he comes out for when he was the belt collector, come out with Don Callis, Nakazawa,
brothers.
Yeah, the Good Brothers for a little bit. Obviously, the Bucks. I think he had he just had an entourage with him at all times.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So, well, that's the difference, right? An entourage is not the same as sharing the spotlight.
I guess that's a good point, too.
So, we probably have to keep that in mind. So, I feel like next week, I think Callis will likely say he's like, you know, I told you needed to be solo, to be great by yourself. You didn't listen to me. Look what happened.
Yeah.
They attacked me. I think the original plan was always for BCC to attack Don Callis. However, the splitting, giving him a new asshole where his forehead was not the plan, essentially.
Yeah,
I
would
was
assume.
Just the accident.
Yeah.
So, I think he would definitely align himself with BCC, even though I don't think he needs to. Like, BCC does not need a mouthpiece. Like, obviously, Rico was there. Yeah, he was kind of a mouthpiece.
But he wasn't really.
Right. Like, Danielson can hold his own. Claudio can hold his own. Moxley can hold his own. Wheeler Yuta, whatever. But so we'll see. I think again we're still building to potentially blood and guts for this. I think. I don't know when they're gonna do it because they don't do blood and guts at a pay-per-view. They usually save it for
like a special event show. Yeah.
Right. So we'll see what happens. What they'll do for Double or Nothing. I mean, we did get our second match announcement for Double or Nothing yesterday. It was FTR versus Team TNA with Mark Briscoe as the special guest referee. We already have the 4 pillars for the AEW World Championship, so 2 matches announced so far. Pretty awesome.
When is Double or Nothing? May. Is it Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, yeah.
They love their holiday weekends.
I mean, hey, you party hard on a Sunday.
I mean,
don't have to worry about it on a Monday.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
So
that is actually really fucking smart because, like, honestly, we're the perfect example of that when we went to All Out last year because we came in on a Friday, stayed at your house, but then we got to watch the show Sunday and then had Monday to go back home.
Right.
So that's actually really fucking smart. So because you don't have to worry about work on Monday, obviously. So it's like, oh yeah, I get to drive home, fly home, do whatever on Monday. I don't have to worry about anything. Get to recover and then go to work Tuesday. That's actually really smart.
You got to recover after 15 hours of pro wrestling that you're gonna get. So.
That's true too.
So, yeah, I think there's definitely still more. I'm still wondering if Takeshita is gonna be part of BCC. I'm still kind of waiting for that. We're still waiting for the Hangman reunion still, technically, with the rest of the elite. We're still waiting for Kota Ibushi too, which I know is gonna happen. I think he could potentially debut at the new Collision show, so we'll see if that happens.
That motherfucker shooting himself with fireworks. I don't know if you watched that video that I sent. I don't know when that was, if that's recent or not, but holy shit, that dude's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Kota Ibushi really is, if people haven't seen that. There's a video going around Twitter of him shooting himself with fucking like a handful of Roman candles.
Not to, compare to the fucking other Twitter video that has been going around this week.
I still haven't seen that yet, so I didn't get a random notification or anything, so I was waiting for one of those.
Click here for massive dong or something.
Yeah, something. Oh my gosh, can't believe this happened. And you click on it. It's super vague, super something. And you just click on it, and yeah. Luckily, nothing didn't happen.
I'm trying to think what else happened. I mean, Christian still being heel, getting that cheap heat from the crowd. One thing that I think is pretty funny, all throughout Christian's promo time, he had the crowd booing him the entire time. So, we kind of got the leg up there on WWE where we ain't piping in fucking crowd noise like they did this past Monday.
Who did they pop it in for?
Brock. When Brock beat up Cody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was on the fucking microphone it was talking to him, and like they just pipe in this crowd noise. You can tell when it's piped in because the camera would pan to the crowd and like nobody's paying attention. Yeah. So it's just fucking hilarious.
It was like that Dom heat though. That's real heat. That Dom heat. That motherfucker can't talk on a microphone.
Yes.
Awesome.
So there's that.
It's crazy how much I actually like Dominic Mysterio now. I know I said it a couple months ago that we were talking about it. That motherfucker's got me, dude.
Let's see. What else we got? We've got the return of Miro showing up on TV.
I wore my Rusev Day shirt specifically. I got to break these fucking shirts out when I can because they're fucking useless now. So I got to break them out when I can.
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, that didn't have to happen.
Also came back, so it's looking like we're going to be tying Miro, Thunder Rosa, Punk for this Collision show. Will likely be headlining for that show for, those who, the broken toys.
Yeah, the ones that the people in the back don't really like.
So, mainly because, and here's the thing about Miro. Miro is a fantastic talent and a fantastic athlete, and I would strap a rocket to Miro and fucking shoot him to the moon. But you can't just be champion overnight just because.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta build something.
Unless it's the TNT Championship.
True. It's true. It's true.
Which he did have.
I'll give you that. But yeah, if you think you deserve to be in the main event picture and don't want to work to it, then you're kind of like shooting yourself in the foot there and tying people's hands together. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the big problem right now with Miro not being on TV is because they offered him a program. I think it was with Hangman, and it was a build to a championship match, and he was like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to be champion. I want to fight the champion. So it's like,
oof,
can't fucking have your cake and eat it too, bro. You gotta, build to it. So
true.
We'll see kind of what happens there. We get our first look at house rules for the new trios titles that House of Black have established. A 20 count, no rope breaks. The opponents choose if there's a disqualification, as well as the opponents get to choose a specific stipulation as well. The lights are dim, so all the light you get is just on the ring, and the crowd is all black, which is really fucking cool. And they actually changed the trios belts for House of Black. They're all silver now, so that was also cool. Yeah, and that's also cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. Hopefully, we can obviously continue to build more of those things. I think Bandito with the best friends, or the best amigos, is what they called themselves yesterday.
That's hilarious.
I think it actually works really well. Obviously, Orange is supposed to be the third guy, but him being the international champion kind of throws a fork into those things, or wrench in those plans. But I think Bandito's a pretty good substitute. So, yeah, man, I think Dynamite yesterday, this was just, I think it was a sweet ass Dynamite. Like, it was pretty good, had from beginning to end. In the middle, we did get a Julia Hart,
Anna Jay match,
and fucking Anna Jay did like a gory splash or gory special to Anna Jay, or no?
You talking about on the chairs?
On the chairs, and she like fucked up her hip, and like Julia could barely fucking move, and she still finished the match. So bravo to Julia for finishing it, because she fucking struggled. Like, that was brutal. I was like, damn, girl.
So I have a picture here where it kind of shows it. It can't really seem very good, but that is pretty sweet that they're just silver and black.
Yeah, they did. They got a brand new graphic for the belt, and yeah, we saw them when they were holding them. It looks nice. I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking slick.
That works. I like it. Keep them champions forever.
Yes. What else we got? We've got, so with the announcement of Collision potentially is what the big announcement is next week. There is a rumor going around, which I think is likely not a rumor, and it is true. The 5-year, $1 billion deal that Warner Brothers Discovery gave AEW. In this deal as well, they get the sole streaming rights to everything AEW. So this is why they canceled Dark Elevation and Dark off of YouTube, is so that Warner Brothers can own all of that, the streaming rights. And hopefully down the line with the new Max application that's coming later this month, that hopefully you get to stream past shows on this application. And again, I'm still hoping that we can get the pay-per-views there. You can buy them off of Max instead of Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty big. And I also think that could potentially boost the numbers for Max subscriptions.
Yeah, I think it would do subscriptions and also pay-per-views when people are viewing pay-per-views. If it's I don't know if it'll be a Peacock situation where you just pay the fee and it just streams there, or if you have to, like you said, buy it from Peacock. Because if it's the first one where it's, hey, sub and you get to watch the pay-per-view, then I think subscriptions will go up and viewership on pay-per-views will go up a lot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Plus, how many was, you said $5 billion deal?
No, 5-year, $1 billion.
I mean, still $1 billion deal.
Yeah.
Do you need $50? Do you need $50 a pay-per-view anymore?
True.
So I mean, it could be based on subscriptions, whatever. Kind of similar. Obviously, WWE is a much bigger company money wise with what they sold for recently and everything. But still, I think you can make it work.
Right direction.
100%, yes.
And this could even end up helping WWE and Endeavor on their next TV deal as well.
That was something that somebody said on Twitter. That one of the random notifications that come in, and was talking about. I think I got it from the thing where I see you guys of Jay White puts pen to paper in AEW. Intern AEW sells has a $1 billion deal plus sells 60,000 seats in London. Thank you, Switchblade. Fucking love it. You're welcome. But on top of that, like the real side of it, was somebody quote tweeted that or whatever, and was talking about because we all one of my biggest problems is the tribalism of AEW versus WWE that is just rampant in the IWC right now, and it was like, okay, AEW, even if you're a WWE mark, Dustin, and hate anything AEW does, hate everything AEW does.
Dustin,
AEW signing $1 billion deal, even though WWE did sell for way more, but AEW signing for $1 billion deal is good for people in AEW. Right. Guess what? It's also good for people in WWE.
Yep.
Even though they're completely separate, completely competitors, whatever you want to call it, this is good for people in WWE. This is going to make people in WWE more money. Yep. So that's what the way the tweet said is like, okay, well, if you hate AEW, you can still thank AEW because they just made your favorite people more money.
Yep.
So if you're, like I said, and there was a comment that I posted on some guy on a random Facebook group or something page, kind of similar to our page that is still blocked on Facebook. Hey, Facebook, fucking figure it out. Zuckerberg, what the fuck? Okay, I changed the picture. Fucking unblock it, our account, so we can post shit. Anyways. It was one of those kind of posts, and dude posted like, it was the MJF versus Roman Reigns post, and people were talking about, MJ, I'd much rather have MJF because he wrestles for a real wrestling company. Shut the fuck up, okay? Fucking chill. And the way I said it, I like right now, currently, other than a very select few things in WWE, everything AEW is doing, I like more than WWE, except Thunder Rosa, okay? Maybe we don't need to bring Thunder Rosa back, okay? But for the majority, I like AEW more than I like WWE, right, currently. And so the fact is, like, it's so dumb that you're like, oh, well, he works for a real wrestling company, whatever. It's okay. Even if you don't like it, you don't have to say stupid shit of, like, that's not a real wrestling company, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they are, okay? AEW's a real wrestling company. AEW's sports entertainment. WWE is sports entertainment. They're a real wrestling company. Fucking cut it out, okay? What's good for WWE is good for AEW. What's good for AEW is good for WWE. Fucking enjoy wrestling. It's not that hard.
Yep.
Right? Except Thunder Rosa. I'm just kidding.
So yeah, I mean, like you hit the nail right on the head with the whole. Yeah, it's just gonna make more money for everybody else because if we think about it. Both WWE and AEW are in a scripted format, but they do not fall to the mercy of what's going on right now with the writer's strike.
Yeah.
So, that's just more leverage for those companies to get more money because they can put out content
every week.
Every week. So,
and then it goes to it. It's like technically Rampage is done before or after Dynamite, whatever. But it's still another show that they have that they can still put on. Plus, they're going to add this Collision show whenever they announce that. So now that's 2 to 3. So Rampage technically turns into the NXT, I guess, of AEW. Plus, still Ring of Honor, which isn't really on TV, but.
Yeah.
Eventually, honestly, could be if they start picking up and AEW starts picking up more people under the umbrella, start dividing it out more. I mean, it could. Like it's good for and like you said, no wrestling's going to be on every single week. And we're going to have wrestling every single week. So now this is just, hey, let's pay them more money, secure this under our banner. Now we have programming that people are going to watch every single week, guaranteed.
The only thing the only person it doesn't benefit, really, and who cares, is Impact.
I mean, true. True. Unfortunate, but true.
So yeah, we've got essentially with the new Collision show, we'll end up getting 5 hours of AEW content a week.
So this is going to be a 2-hour live show.
Yep.
Every week.
Saturday. Yep, on Saturday. So
bold choice on Saturday, but.
I know, it kind of ruins a lot of other people's plans, essentially, if you're a normal, everyday, every go-out person on a weekend. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like, obviously, there's things that they can still play around with, but, I mean, it is what it is. The deal also has no mention of Ring of Honor. So Ring of Honor still will be separate. Granted, I mean, it's on a streaming service, its own streaming platform. I don't see them ever merging the two, but I guess we'll see. But all the folks that were, you can say, the indie and the developmental talent that would wrestle on Dark and Elevation would get that opportunity now on Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes Rampage, but like I said, Rampage is only an hour show.
Yeah.
And they're kind of more of just using Rampage to kind of also blow off storylines that wouldn't be on a pay-per-view essentially. So, yeah, be interesting for sure. That deal has not been broken yet. It could come next week alongside a Collision, but I guess we'll see what happens. But I think that is something definitely that has happened and just hasn't been made public yet.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, it's still been really good so far. Yes, it hasn't been announced that they have not sold out Wembley for All In, but a good 80% of it is sold. Yeah. And no match has been announced. So, I mean, that in itself is a big win. I'm sure that's something that Warner Brothers Discovery also took into consideration, knowing that, yeah, they're doing an anniversary show in Wembley. They've already sold this amount of tickets. And Ospreay is expected to be booked for All In as well. So
let's fucking go. See, and that's another thing is okay, so the Jay White signing, and a lot of people I've seen on the internet, obviously, I'm a massive fucking Jay White fan, but a lot of people argue with him not going to WWE. It's oh, he didn't go to WWE because people don't know who he is because he was in New Japan. It's one, watch your fucking mouth, okay? Two, it's this. The whole AEW thing, them finally getting the extra 2-hour live show a week, the SmackDown equivalent, we have the 2 shows, which is what we've been saying for fucking ever. This is going to help them pull more people like Jay White, Will Ospreay, if he ever decides to come to America. All these other and it goes to places even situations like people like Drew McIntyre, who people are what's going to happen with him? Now, he's got another place he can go for sure and possibly still be a top star. Because a lot of people are worried about people like Jay White coming in. It's okay, well, now Jay White's here. Does he ever get an opportunity to be a top star in AEW? Which he fucking should. Yeah. But it's just going to make more opportunity for wrestlers now, as well as, for them to still be able to continue wrestling and not worry about going to, unfortunately, places like Impact or having to go all the way over to Japan. I don't know if this is my internet freaking out or your internet freaking out. But it gives more opportunity for people to get in better storylines and more opportunity for more people to shine overall. So I think like I said, this is a great time for wrestling. People, shut the fuck up, stop bitching.
I agree. But, I mean, I think that's enough AEW talk, right? I think we covered all the bases here. So, let's talk about this.
I don't know if this is my internet or your internet.
Heavyweight championship tournament.
I think you're back. You're kind of cutting in and out. Give it to Seth Rollins. I don't care anything. It goes to Rollins. Cody's out. Great. Fantastic. Love it.
Will.
It goes to Seth Rollins. I don't care what anybody says. It goes to Seth Rollins. Who else is left in the tournament?
Oh, the Raw portion is completely done.
Yeah.
So on Raw, they had the tournament. Seth run for Raw. So SmackDown, we've got 2 triple threats. The winners of those 2 will face each other. SmackDown main event. So the first triple threat, I think, is AJ Styles versus Edge. Bobby Lashley, Sheamus, I believe, is the other one.
I'm pulling up the tournament bracket now.
Pretty sure that's what they are.
Nope, that's wrong. Okay, this one. So, who won between Cody, Finn, and The Miz? I'm assuming Finn won that?
Finn won, yeah.
And then I guess Rollins beat
Brock
Finn?
got involved. Yes.
Okay. So Rollins beat Finn. So Rollins beat Shinsuke and Priest. Sucks, man. Priest. I don't think Priest.
He was protected though.
Okay, that's good.
Protected.
I did not watch Raw. That's good. Unfortunately, Raw is like right in the middle of my like important D&D game for the week, so I never get to watch it. But yeah, a lot of news. Speaking of, I've seen a lot of reports of WWE considering Damian Priest a main event guy now moving forward after his past couple of months of work, including what he did with Bad Bunny at Backlash, which we haven't even talked about at all. But so Rollins won that. So the other other side is AJ, Edge, and Ray.
Yep.
They're triple threat. Theory, Lashley, and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Is the other side.
So I was right. Yeah.
So we're thinking Edge versus Lashley? Or Sheamus?
I think...
I can see AJ. I've seen a lot of stuff circulating about Edge winning to get his title back that he never lost.
I know, I saw that too. He took to social media today to talk about that. He wants his World Heavyweight title back, and then once he loses it, he'll retire his way, I guess.
Well, if that's the case, I don't think he should get it here then.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Plus, we're doing this whole inaugural champion thing probably. Because this is going to be technically different than Big Gold, right? Or is this actually Big Gold just looks different?
I mean,
because the whole thing I'm worried about, which is hilarious because it's probably not going to matter soon anyways, because I'm assuming they're getting rid of the Universal title. But for a long time, I mean, I think even now you still get Finn referenced as the first ever Universal Champion.
Correct.
So that first ever champion, if this is considered a new belt, the new World Heavyweight, are they gonna I think that's support for someone like Seth to get that to be the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion or however they're gonna do it.
Right. I personally would like to see at Night of Champions, right? This is where they're crowning the champion. I would prefer the final to be Rollins versus Styles. To be honest, would be my pick.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could see Rollins versus Edge again.
Yeah, because I feel like if they do it Rollins versus Edge, they're gonna be able to tie in their little history that they have together.
Yeah.
And maybe even possibly do that down the road whenever Edge does win it. Something else they could do.
I can see either of those two because I think Bobby can go after Roman. I think that's a play that they want to make.
They haven't really faced before, have they?
No, I don't think so. Because when Bobby was champion, he was feuding with Drew most of the time. So, I think
on Raw,
really
away from Roman.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that could be something they could do. Plus, it'd get Bobby out of the U.S. title picture with Theory.
Yeah.
And a legitimate challenge for Roman, even though Roman's gonna win. But
hell yeah, he is.
But it's Bobby. Fuck, that's gonna be a banger, anyways.
I mean, and honestly, looking at the 6 people that's left to go up against Rollins, AJ and Edge are the only ones that, in my opinion, I mean, obviously Lashley, yes, but AJ and Edge are the only ones that if they win and go into the match with Rollins and not a champion, you're like, okay, I could see them maybe winning.
Right.
Because if it's Rollins versus Ray, Theory, Lashley, or Sheamus, I mean, I'm betting my house on Rollins every day of the week.
You lose. Fuck.
I'd be fucking pissed. But no, if it's any of those other 4, it's basically guaranteed Rollins.
Yes.
So I think it's AJ or Edge. You kind of have that toss up on could it go to one of those two, but weren't they both drafted to SmackDown officially? Edge and AJ? Yeah, so...
Yeah, so all of this is now happening post-draft with the new rosters.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so... Which, I mean, I guess you could do the whole, like Joey said in the chat, where they should have announced whoever wins goes to Raw.
Yeah, I
but also it's kind of fucked to be like, oh, I picked this guy in the draft. Yeah. Now he's going to Raw with a championship. I don't even get a compensatory pick or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, Yeah, it's a Raw title, yes, and why do we have SmackDown stars? Yeah. Obviously, if a SmackDown superstar would win, they technically could just go to
Yeah.
Raw, yes, but yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is. WWE logic is what we
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
People, like, what
True.
the fuck?
True.
Like,
But I've seen some people. I know Joey's voiced his negative opinions on this Rollins character, and I've seen somebody else that I commented on their post, friends, that was talking about how the Rollins Ted DiBiase laugh is so annoying, and I'm like, I don't get it. How people Rollins is so fucking over right now. I don't know what it was. I seen a random clip where Rollins and Becky were at some random event, and again, I don't know what it was. The crowd, some guy in the crowd was getting everyone to sing Rollins' entrance music, and because you see Rollins grab his beer, just kind of show it to the crowd, like hell yeah, guys. It's like this dude is so over right now. I don't know why people don't like what he's doing right now. This is my favorite Seth Rollins.
like I said, I was never really a Seth Rollins fan, but this version is growing on me.
Yeah, it's funny because if I had to name, like, in the Shield, during the Shield days, fucking loved the Shield. OG Shield, I was a fucking Shield mark. I'm not even gonna hide it. Roman was always my favorite, but it was always between Roman and Seth. It was always the Roman Seth. I never really cared for Ambrose, Moxley, whatever. He was okay. I don't know what it was about him that I didn't really care for, but it was always. I guess he was always poised as the leader, but I didn't feel like he was the leader. Like, I don't know, because he was always the singles guy.
Yeah, the singles title.
Yeah, so.
And then the other two had the tag title.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was, but now if I look at, like, my favorite things in both, if I name my favorite things in AEW, it's obviously Adam Cole and Jay White. Obviously. If I look at WWE right now, it has to be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Like, I don't know if I got anybody. Dominic, okay, I got to give Dominic an honorable mention right now because he's fucking killing it. Rhea, obviously, they're killing it together. But it's like my favorite things WWE. It's Rollins and Reigns right now, and it's cool to see that whole journey of where they go to where they are now. Both completely different, off the wall characters, and it's like they're fucking killing it, and they deserve both to be champions right now. Because Rollins is fucking over. I know people like Cody. No. It's Rollins' show, and I'm glad that they did whatever they're doing with Brock and getting Cody away from the title and whatever. Cool. I finished the fucking story or whatever his brother said.
He needs more adversity.
Which I guess they're saying that's what Brock is giving him.
I guess. I mean, Brock does whatever the fuck Brock wants to do.
I mean. So what is the point of running this back match at Night of Champions?
I have no clue.
Because he beat him clean, right? I still haven't watched the match.
Yes.
Other than him hitting his head and the blood.
He beat him clean, and I think I still don't think Cody should have won, to be honest. Like, if you want him to finish the story and you think he hasn't had enough adversity, let Brock beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then you obviously can run it back for Night of Champions. Exactly. What they're doing. Cody could have won there, but if Brock wins here, I'm gonna be like, the story's just.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is like I don't see the point of running this back because Cody won the first one, and then okay, is Brock gonna win the second one? And if so, that makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't, and if they do 3 matches and Cody wins all 3, I like Cody, but I'm gonna fucking flip my fucking table.
Yeah, I don't, and I like Cody. I don't like Cody as much as some people. Dustin, but
Dustin sucks Cody dick from the back.
Yeah, because you left AEW. He's the only person to ever leave AEW and go to WWE. So he's like, oh, fuck it, yeah. So it's like, I get it. I get the story, I guess. But I feel like the way that some people are working right now in WWE, that they just can't, you can't stop certain people's momentum just for Cody. Yeah. And this story, like, Brock, it should have been that Brock turned on him on that Raw beat the absolute fuck out of him that he did. You get to Backlash, and Brock cheats. Whatever you want to do, weapons, whatever, however he wants to do it, Brock should have beat the fuck out of Cody at Backlash. And then it's, like you said, the adversity that he's building. And now Cody's got to figure out a way to beat the beast. He's got to figure out a way to do it. All the way that all these other people have beat Brock Lesnar, Rollins, Reigns, whoever. It's like all the adversity they went through of Reigns, Brock beating the fuck out of them this whole time. It's like, okay, beats up Cody once and then has a match and loses?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, here's the other thing. I feel like the potential long-term problem that they can have with Cody, which essentially kind of happened in AEW and why everyone turned on him, is
Hangman Page.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Was that just me that turned on Hangman Page? Was that just me?
No. Is now the finish the story is for Cody to beat Roman.
Are you talking people turning on Cody in AEW?
Cody, yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were making an analogy to someone else.
No,
I didn't realize you were talking about Cody both times. Okay, I'm caught up.
Cody both times.
I'm caught up.
Is the finish the story is for Cody to beat Roman. It's not for Cody to win the World Heavyweight title.
True.
Obviously, what the fuck? I'd be stupid.
That's another thing that I thought about because it's like they're still pushing this finish the story thing, but he's not winning the I feel like him winning the WWE Championship was the story.
Yes.
Because his family's never held that title.
Right.
So I don't see how him winning the World Heavyweight Championship is still that's not finishing the story.
Right. Exactly.
Which is honestly the problem with the World Heavyweight Championship we've seen is it's just looked at like a consolation prize because nobody can fucking beat Roman.
Right. But if we're having Cody finish the story, Cody would either need to win Money in the Bank and win and beat Roman and cash in, or fucking lose, and then we have to cycle all the way back to Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
For him to win back-to-back.
And
essentially finish the story. No. So Cody would have to be in a main event program and not get hurt a whole full calendar year. And we knew how that worked out for Roman when he was babyface, and they forced it. And same thing with Rollins, and they forced him with authority and all this other bullshit. And was it Kingslayer or Beast Slayer shit, and everyone hated him for it.
Yeah.
This is exactly what's going to happen to Cody.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, everyone in the fucking IWC are a bunch of fickle-ass little lying-ass bitches. Because it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And it's so... We give WWE a lot of shit. And it's like, it just... To me, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I agree. Reigns should keep the titles that he has. I was on that train forever ago. Rollins should win this title. But it's like, okay, so now what do you do with Cody? And it's like, okay, the Brock Lesnar turn was awesome. Like, hey, nobody seen it coming. No, like, it was completely off the wall. Everybody was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be Cody and Brock teaming up. This is awesome. But then you just have Cody win, and it's like, but why? And it's like Cody's on Raw now. He's drafted to Raw. So like you said, Money in the Bank is the only other option unless we wait a year. That's so crazy.
Yep.
And
it's like, what are we gonna do for that entire year?
If exactly that, and that's my thing now is Cody can't lose to Brock at Night of Champions because then it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess it could, and then they do something crazy, Hell in a Cell or something. Yeah, exactly. But then at that point we do that, we miss Money in the Bank. So Cody doesn't get to. Is Cody going to have Money in the Bank match and then go back to Brock at SummerSlam? So it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Is Brock and Cody going to be in Money in the Bank?
Exactly. These are things that obviously they got to build to.
And if it all boils down to Rollins wins the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions. Cody beats Brock. So down does Cody go immediately to Rollins? for them to do their story again.
Right.
And It's like, so then is Cody is Rollins just gonna have the belt from Night of Champions to SummerSlam, and Cody's gonna take it off him at SummerSlam? Because I would be fucking livid if that happens.
Or Rollins is gonna fight fucking Brock after Cody.
Which, this is a different Rollins character, so it might work, but at the same time, no. But it's like, okay, so what does Cody do after this? It's like, I don't know if they're how long term is their booking right now for all of this.
We're gonna be having the same conversation again after Night of Champions.
I 100% agree. We're gonna be literally just play. I'm just gonna post this episode twice. Like, after Night of Champions, I'm just gonna post the same episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't.
Ridiculous.
Because okay, and then I guess we have other. I don't know. Because I'm looking at the thing. We still have Balor and Priest, who apparently Balor might be turned on. Like, they might kick Balor out of Judgment Day for I don't know why. I seen a random report of that. I seen a random report of Carlito joining Judgment Day.
That was random. Carlito was literally a one-off.
Which does suck. I would be happy if Carlito came back, but
he actually posted like on his story. He's like, "Come back, have huge pop, disappear, and never come back a year later."
Hey, whatever works. Because he did get a massive fucking pop for that. Like, a lot of people love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, we got. Bobby can go after Roman, but after this, honestly, I don't know who's going to go after Seth if Seth wins it.
I can see more story on SmackDown than I do for Raw.
Yeah.
After the draft, I definitely feel like Roman now has more potential new challengers for sure. I still think Sheamus could still challenge Roman. I think Bobby can do it. AJ Styles can do it. Edge can do it again.
Yeah.
Cross, if they fucking actually give him a story and they fucking actually like follow through with it.
They won't.
Because he's been getting these like weird one-off feuds. Then they fucking started a Shinsuke feud, and then they had to like immediately blow it off the SmackDown before the draft because Shinsuke got drafted to Raw, and they're like, "Oh shit."
And let's get Shinsuke back in that main event picture.
I agree. I love Shinsuke, and It's been a while. I think Shinsuke and Seth could have some bangers, but again, it's like, fuck. Like, what do we do? Like, they have the talent, but it's like, oh, but how do we tiptoe around a Cody story and a Seth story so that it doesn't make it look too obvious? I guess.
So, also something I just thought about because
they're going to be booking triple threat matches with Cody and Rollins in them, and then whoever the odd person's out is just going to be taking the pin all the time.
I could see that as well. Because another one of the reports I seen was apparently a lot of people were happy with Omos coming out of Backlash.
That was Omos's best match he's ever had.
Hey, who was it with? Exactly.
Seth Rollins got that boy over, essentially.
So, and Omos is still technically a free agent, right? Also hilarious. Akira Tozawa got drafted, but Brock, Omos, Elias, and a couple of people didn't. Hilarious. But I guess, Omos could float around to the World Heavyweight Championship or the Universal. I don't think he's ready for either, but
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I think they'll just be doing like random shit with him, like always.
I'm trying to think of other people that we could get in a.
Drew can be fighting Seth, since Drew is now on Raw, and that's if he decides to essentially come back, and stay. He technically still has another year on his contract. I think a lot of speculation. He's been pretty unhappy as of late, especially with creative, and he's he's like, if he was able to get out of his contract, I think All In Wembley would be a fantastic place for him to show up and debut. But
True.
Because he's got another year on his contract, we'll see what happens. Gargano is not in a main event title picture, I think would be really good. But
Yeah.
it seems like they're trying to build the way on the main roster again.
Without
I
Austin
also,
Theory, though, right?
yes, I also think they are trying to play around with doing a Gargano Ciampa feud on the main roster again. So we'll see what happens
I
there.
didn't see a
But
feud. I seen teaming them up again.
I can see both.
Yeah.
But I know they're gonna run something back
Yeah.
on the main roster between the two of them. If they're gonna go with the way, their whole idea I think was the way versus Sanity, like bringing back Sanity again, because Eric Young is signed to a contract. They just have not done anything with him. They literally have nothing for him.
I mean,
So they're gonna do. You could do Sanity. The Viking Raiders are there now, so I think the Way versus the Viking Raiders would be really cool. I mean, these are all ideas, but we don't know where any of it's going.
yeah.
Especially now, also with Judgment Day. Yeah, Priest is
Also,
seen with a main event type of push that could come for him, which is great. Where does that leave Finn? We don't know. Obviously, Dom is always going to be doing stuff with Rhea. Finn is left out. I think it'd be really good to get him in the main event push as well, but I don't know. It's a lot of question marks.
um, have they said anything about what they're doing with the tag team? Well, I don't know why I said that so weird. With the tag team championships.
They don't have a story. They're still.
Well, I mean, not even just with KO and Sammy, but like, okay, we're back full. We should be fully back brand split. So are we splitting tag titles? Are we having?
Nope. They're jumping to both shows. Oh. So is
full brand split except for the tag team titles.
Yep.
And they're still both carrying around 2 belts. Are they? I mean, I don't know if they're unifying Roman's belts.
He's gonna be on SmackDown tomorrow, so hopefully they also reveal a new belt besides whatever else is going on with the Bloodline. Whatever that story is, which now I also feel like is kind of fizzling out a little bit. I also think now, Jay can fight Roman again, like they had kind of how they all started this and go full circle. But the whole program right now between the Usos and Sammy and KO wants to be done with, but Sammy is still like pushing for it, in storytelling. But it's like you guys are running the exact same story in your build up to WrestleMania. So it's literally we're in this fucking loop. At Backlash, I was hoping the Bloodline was going to lose because then now that's putting more of a break and friction for Roman coming in Friday.
But they the ones, baby. You know what I mean?
I guess. They're the ones for now.
Forever. For always.
So, we got the tease of Solo almost fucking Samoa spiking Jay. Like, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
But if it comes tomorrow,
I think people,
it's stupid.
Oh yeah, don't do that. I think people, I think it's gonna be, I know, like you just said, Jay versus Roman. I think it's eventually gonna be Solo versus Roman at some point. I don't know if the Usos are gonna do it, or I don't know how that's gonna happen with them. I think more of it's gonna be Solo versus Roman than Jay versus Roman. That's where I think I kind of lean.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like if it's Solo, I feel like that's gonna have to be like way fucking later. Like right now, he's not even nowhere near being a main event star whatsoever. I feel like we're not gonna get any type of like glimpse into the future or through the looking glass for the Bloodline until SummerSlam, to be honest. I feel like
probably, but also just an idea that I had, because over these past 1,000 days, almost 1,000 days, something that we've noticed, or that I've noticed, is that not necessarily, like, he's obviously been there. He's been there when Roman's not there. But Roman doesn't really need Paul Heyman. Like, his promo skills have gotten so much better that he doesn't need Paul Heyman. But Solo could use Paul Heyman. So if this is a Paul Heyman turn, again, hopefully not tomorrow, but eventually down the road, a Paul Heyman solo turn on Roman. They go off together. Again, maybe not even necessarily main event stuff, but at some point I could see that happening as well, maybe.
But I feel like if you do that, then does Roman go babyface?
No, Roman can't go babyface. I don't know if Roman can go babyface anymore.
I was just like,
that's a good point. I didn't think of that. I don't know if Roman can go babyface.
Would need to be behind Solo then, right? Like at that point,
I think the crowd could be behind Solo though. Like maybe it's okay. So right now Roman is the whole being mean to Jay. Fall in line. Jimmy and Jay. Whatever. I mean, it's been that way since the beginning of the bloodline. Of hey, I'm the boss, whatever. I mean, it could be now this starts turning where Solo starts fucking up. Solo starts, messing things up. Solo gets in the way. Solo starts costing Roman a match or two. Something happens. And then Paul Heyman's like, hey, well, I think the Solo guy could be the fucking future, or something like that. Yeah. And do something like that where then they go and babyface Solo and Paul Heyman. Which would be weird to see, but it could.
Yeah, I mean, it could work. Obviously, that would only come into play until after the Usos are kicked out, essentially. Yeah. Like, the Usos have to be gone before any of that shit starts happening.
Which, the way you see things now, it's usually Roman, Solo, and Paul. When you see the Bloodline, you see Roman. The Usos are there sometimes, but when it's match time and certain situations, it's Roman, Solo, and Paul that you see.
Yeah.
So
I think how they could potentially play this, depending on what happens tomorrow, I feel like Roman would be giving the Usos one more chance. And in the meantime, Roman will bestow Solo in a title feud with Theory so that he could be U.S. champion. I think Solo could be champion, but then the Usos accidentally cost him the belt. And then Usos get kicked out, or Solo runs rampant, has a long title reign with the U.S. champion,
which could be really fun.
Something happens there.
Bro, imagine. So Gunther's on Raw now, right?
Yep.
Okay, dude, imagine your two mid-card champions are Gunther and Solo.
I mean,
that's fucking lit. That's fucking lit.
Yeah.
And I mean, that goes back to like, hey, that's fucking hard hitting. Badass champions, because I don't feel like Austin Theory's there right now. So,
yeah,
Solo and Gunther as mid card champions would be fucking awesome. I'm in for that 100%.
I would say like Solo could be U.S. champion, so it'd be U.S. champion and Roman being undisputed champ. But Solo putting in more work, making him look like more of a better champion than Roman. In which then, we can then see Paul being enticing to be like, maybe Solo could be better than Roman, and that's how you would start that program.
Yeah. Again, I think that's a while away.
If it fucking happens, we're gonna come back to this episode and I'll be like, I fucking told you.
That was my idea first, and you fucking took it too. Okay.
I perfected it.
That's funny. Yeah, who knows? Tomorrow's our first actual new brand split SmackDown, so
yep.
Who knows? Who knows? We didn't talk about Backlash at all, which I guess technically was that this past weekend. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was on Saturday.
I think I technically won the picks. I haven't officially looked at it, but I think I won the picks, right?
Okay.
I think I did. I think I tied with somebody, but I had a better time. I haven't even looked at any of that shit, so I need to go in and do that.
It was a fun show. That fucking crowd was hot. And
yes, I've seen clips of that, just the crowd, and that's what people, I think, was it Santos Escobar that would tweeted for a Mexico show? And I mean, honestly, if you're getting crowds like that, was the crowd in Cardiff that good?
Yes. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, if they're going to have crowds like that for those kinds of pay-per-views, which, I mean, granted, I don't know which, I mean, I guess when they did the Carter show, they had, what was it, Sheamus and Drew Sheamus and Gunther, right? And then Sheamus was not Sheamus.
No.
Drew was the main event, right?
Main event, yeah. He was fighting Roman.
So, and I mean, obviously, Bad Bunny and Puerto Rico, and Carlito coming back, and
Savio Vega.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'm assuming they could do a lot of similar stuff like that with the Mexico show. So,
yeah, the crowd was hot. It was a fun and electric show, and
for a fucking Backlash.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, they probably won't be going to Puerto Rico for a long time. And that's the shady thing is, like, you have such a enthusiastic fan base there.
Why would they not go back for a long time?
It's just not in their plans.
I mean, after that show, change your fucking plans, because
like, it was electric. The crowd was hot.
Like I said, not even fully watching the show, just by watching clips that I've seen, I know that the crowd was fucking wild.
Yeah. And then compared to the Monday night crowd, oh my god, it was a dark comparison. Like, it was just holy shit. Like, I felt like the crowd was dead most of the time.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. It's like, you're gonna see at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is in London this year, so you're gonna see that crowd is gonna be electric. These are things that they kind of have to keep in consideration to kind of sprinkle around here and there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I mean, technically considered the thing that's saying also the Montreal crowd for Sammy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that was wild. So it's like, granted, I don't know if it's going to always have to be I don't think you're always going to be able to have it where it's like a Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico, a Sami Zayn in Montreal,
right.
You know, the big names that was in Cardiff, or whoever's going to be in London. I mean, you can't always do it where it's going to be that big name. Like Jinder Mahal, if you ever do the Indian show or something like that they were trying to do back when he was champion or something. Like, you're not going to always be able to do that, but
right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could figure it out. Something similar. Because, I mean, even like I said, even if it's just I think the crowd was good even without the Bad Bunny match. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's something to think about. Like, hey, these crowds are going to be. I mean, we don't have a show. What was the last time they were in Puerto Rico? Was it?
One of
we
the
talked
New
about
Year's
this.
Revolutions. Yeah, I think
like 10, almost. I don't know. I don't want to put a guess on the years.
Almost 10 years. I think.
So it's like
almost.
How long is like you? I mean, fucking figure it out. Because I mean, if you're gonna have shows like that with crowds like that, like you need to. That shit you need to think about doing again soon.
Yeah. But yeah, they had great reception to Bad Bunny Priest match. They were pretty upset that they weren't the main event, so they just went out there to try and steal the show, which I think they pretty much successfully done. They are looking to have Bad Bunny for SummerSlam as well, so hopefully. Also,
fucking Judgment Day, the all white gear that they all wore, sick. So cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of have to wear white in Puerto Rico because it's fucking hot.
Yeah, I'd probably.
It's fucking hot.
Yeah. So I thought it was really cool.
Yes, I mean, Zelina got a really good ovation. Carlito got the Stone Cold pop, but Savio got the Hulk Hogan pop because essentially Savio is the Hulk Hogan for Puerto Rico. Yeah. So. Yeah, it was a really good show. Like, it was a lot of fun. The Bianca Io match was really good. Bianca almost fucking killed her, though. She did a one-arm press, and then when she was supposed to dip her over, she didn't fully go over, so fucking Io almost scorpioned. Fucking Io adjusted just enough so that, she still hit her face on the mat, but was able to take a good portion of the fall. I was like, God damn, you almost killed her.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I seen a TikTok or something, and I can't remember if it was a guy that says, I think he said it was his first live wrestling show that he's ever been to, and it was that show.
That's a fucking show to go to.
And he said it was insane, and because the clips that he showed was that match, the beginning match. And he's like, yeah, there's this chick just got up on the top turnbuckle and just backflipped out to the apron on the ground, and it's like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. it's like, I don't know how often you watch wrestling, but I mean, EO kind of does that sometimes. But yeah, it showed the clip of EO doing the moonsault off, and I mean, people were just losing their fucking minds. It was like, it's a hell of a fucking show to go to for your first show ever.
Yep, absolutely. It was really good. But yeah, it was a fun show. I did feel so it was the Bad Bunny match, and then afterwards I think it was the 6-man tag, and I feel like that one kind of slowed a lot of things down. So I feel like it kind of sucked the air out of the arena, as well as probably the Cody Brock match, to be honest, because it was like an 8-minute match. I mean, Brock did bust himself open the hard way, and it was just like the dude was just bleeding immediately. It was just like, rah!
Yeah, Brandy tweeting out that my husband's covered in blood and it's not his.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know how long. Speaking of that, I don't know how long it was. That cage match started last night, and I looked away and I looked back up, and Moxley's got blood all over. I'm like, of fucking course he does.
Yeah, it's because they fucking brought in a barbed wire chair immediately and started just fucking cutting each other's backs with it and shit.
Shit's wild. I couldn't imagine. Like, hey, where are you cutting me at tonight? Fucking cut it out, okay? Fucking chill.
Well, they sure cut fucking skin out.
I couldn't do
it. And then they fucking use glass. Like, just
the
tacks.
No. Like, the tack sucks so bad. But that glass shit can, like, get buried in your skin.
Yeah.
Like, the tacks are going to go in, but you know they're going to come out.
Yeah.
That fucking glass, it's like, and you think about it, it's like, okay, well, technically you can land on the glass the right way and it wouldn't even hurt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also, you can get that shit buried so deep in your skin that you have to have, like, fucking that shit cut out surgically.
Yeah.
No. There's no shot. I took the time out of my D&D game I was playing to see when he poured the, because I thought it was tacks. I was like, oh, okay, here come the tacks, normal tacks. And he poured out glass, and I was like, go fuck yourself, okay? There's no shot.
Oh, I'm sure Kenny has a nice bruise on his leg, too, after almost fucking tearing his entire leg out.
That was another thing that I don't know what was supposed to happen there, but I don't think it was Kenny almost ripping his leg off of his body.
Yeah.
Because that's almost what happened. That was ridiculous.
I mean, the V-trigger through the wall was really cool.
Yeah.
I think it was just because he hit Moxley in the cage.
Yeah.
His momentum just immediately stopped, and he just fucking got immediately caught.
It looked so bad. Like, I was like, okay, well, now we lost Kenny for another 9 months at that point, if not more.
That's fucking brutal, but decent week for wrestling, I guess. I mean, Backlash was good. Raw was kind of lackluster because I still don't think they have. I mean, right now their weeks are literally just to build to Night of Champions, which is understandable. Dynamite I thought was really good yesterday, and we're just gonna have to see what happens tomorrow on SmackDown. And
that's what we're gonna. Oh, don't forget Rampage, dude. You're the AEW guy. What's gonna happen on? Which, I mean, we could look it up, but we're not going to. Yeah, and then so we get SmackDown tomorrow. Whatever's happening on Raw, then we get the big announcements on Dynamite next week. Should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I think we're moving in a good direction. We're going to keep this good wrestling stuff going. So, but I think unless you got anything else, that's going to be it for us this week.
Good.
That is it. AJ and Dustin have been doing some My GM mode. I think we might turn that into a 3 to 4 person thing soon. I'm going to see how it works. I don't know. I'm going to try to buy the game on Steam and see if it works the same with Steam Remote Play. So, I had a question about that. I don't know. I could ask you off there, but fuck it. I'm still recording. So, when you guys are playing that, you guys are playing PS5 Remote Play, or whatever it's called on PlayStation. So, are you controlling everything the whole time, or is Dustin able to control as well?
Dustin is able to control himself.
Okay, so that's what I'm curious about with the Steam Play is if it's going to be where we each get to control it. Also, hey, WWE, fucking 2K, whoever, fucking figure it out. Why isn't this just straight up normal multiplayer? What are we doing? That's just stupid. Anyways, but that's something we might look at. I'm going to buy the game on Steam here in a little bit, maybe, or tomorrow, sometime this weekend. And we might look into doing that 3-4 person thing. Trying to think if there's anything else that we're thinking about doing that we want to talk about. Probably not. Everything else. Me and AJ still have yet to record our once and always reception. You messaged me Tuesday, and I had one of the worst days at work that I've had in months, and I was ready. I came home that day. I sat on the couch. I got off the couch. I sat on the couch for maybe 15 minutes. I got off the couch. I went and laid in bed. I didn't get out of bed for the rest of the fucking night. I was so mad at everything that you messaged me, and I was like, man, we have a list of things that me and him said we were going to record that we need to record. I was like, man, I really need to go fucking record. But if I turn that PC on and one thing doesn't work, if I have an ounce of the trouble that I had the last time I turned that motherfucker, I'm gonna break everything in my house. I was like, I am not in a mental state for this, so for one thing to go wrong for me today. So I was like, I'm gonna push it off one more week. We're gonna try to get some of that recording in very soon. But like I said, we're gonna try to start putting some content out, more content, get some stuff figured out. I still need to paint. I still have this little fucker that I haven't painted the second episode of this doing this shit. My past 2 months have just been in complete fucking shambles. But we're going to get back on track. We're going to get some content fucking out. And we're going to have a good time. So you guys have a good time. We'll see you guys probably next week. I'm not going to say for sure because we fucking skipped a week in between. Maybe next week. Actually, maybe not next week because I might have a graduation to go to. So I don't know yet. But we'll figure it out. We'll be back at some point. We will see you guys down the road. You guys have a good one. We're out. If I can find the right button.